What's good, peeps? Thanks always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, let's do this. This week in boxing, episode 9. Yeah, it's 9. Before we start, I just want to give a massive shout out and a big thank you to Umar Ahmed from IFL TV, who came by on Wednesday to talk all things boxing. Not only did he come all the way from South London, obviously I'm based in East London. I did tell him that I don't have a digital camera right now. Obviously, I'm using my Samsung phone for the moment, and I'm using this mic. So he bring his camera, he bring his mic, he bring his tripod as well. Top guy, honestly, top guy. I think he's doing a great job with IFL TV. He doesn't like to talk about it, but this guy is still very, very young and inexperienced, only 22 years old. So I think he's taken a lot of the things that come his way in his stride. So much appreciated to Umar Ahmed from, I'm about to say Umar, IFL Umar there, Umar Ahmed from IFL TV. If you've not seen the videos, go and check them out. I've put up the full video, which is about an hour-ish long, which some people like. I don't know how you can watch something for an hour. And I've put a lot of the clips up as well. So go and check it out if you haven't watched it. All right, let's do this. The results. A mixed kind of weekend of boxing results, week of boxing results. You almost had the old guard and a lot of the guys that we are waiting to see what they can do, basically. So talking of the old guard, Carlos Takam had a fight. He actually had a fight on Saturday, so I should have mentioned this on last week's show, but I didn't even know that he actually fought. I only found out recently. He fought a guy called Craig Lewis and beat him over 10 rounds by unanimous decision. Obviously, Takam is now with a new promotional team, I think new management team as well. I think they're going to try and be based in America. So let's see what happens with Carlos Takam. Continuing with the theme of the old guard, Alfredo Angulo beat Peter Quillen by split decision. This fight was at 168 pounds. I've only seen highlights of this fight on YouTube, and I mean, it's an understatement to say both of them are way past their best. I mean, Peter Quillen, I mean, you can just touch his head and his legs stiffen, right? I mean, fingers crossed he calls it quits and is done, and it's a shame. I mean, yes, he was a world champion, but there was a time, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago, where I thought this guy could go on to do things at 160 and 168, like really be a name and be a problem for a lot of fighters. Didn't happen. Inactivity, ducking fights, and obviously he got smoked by Danny Jacobs. Angulo, obviously, after the fight, I was watching his post-fight interview, obviously now with Abel Sanchez, says he wants to continue. Obviously, he says this is now a rebirth. The new Alfredo Angulo, or not the new, he said the new but the old, if that makes any sense, to what he was 10 years ago when he used to really be one of the feared fighters, I think, of 154, I think it was, and 160. He says now it's kind of a rebirth. I'm not sure about that. I think both of them look done, and I think both should retire, but oh well. New guard-ish, Kevin Lerena stopped Sefer Seferi in 3 rounds to keep his IBO cruiserweight strap. Kevin Lerena, if you guys don't know, is a fighter based in South Africa, from South Africa. Me being there a lot, they're not happy with his level of opponents at all. I mean, they give him a lot of stick, and I mean, they're not going to be happy with Sefer Seferi. He really does need to take a step up. He has spoken about Lawrence Okolie recently, and that could be a possible fight sometime in the future. Obviously, Okolie's got the European shot against Ngannou. If Okolie comes through that, maybe he might look at Kevin Lerena. It's a world title. I know people still diss the IBO, I get it, but it is a world title. So we'll see what's going to happen between Kevin Lerena and maybe Lawrence Okolie in the future. Thomas Delorme, is it Delorme or Delorme? Beat the unbeaten Terrell Williams over 10 rounds, somewhat of an upset. Delorme's had a crap 2 years, so this was a massive win. And again, like I said, comes as somewhat of an upset. Joseph Diaz got away with one, I think, against Jesus Cuadro. Won that one by a majority decision. I say he got away with one. I think he won the fight, but this was supposed to be a stay busy fight, almost like a Tyson Fury Otto Wallin. And it wasn't. It wasn't a stay busy fight at all. It was a bloody hard fight. He said that I think he fractured or hurt his left hand in round 3, so he's pretty much fighting with one hand. Fair dues, I guess. So this win, I guess, keeps him at, or keeps him in the picture at 130 pounds, but I mean, risky one. This guy I want to talk about a bit more than others because I think he's a big prospect that's almost flying under the radar. Ruben Villa. I remember the name. Took his record to 17-0 as he beat the unbeaten Enrico Vivas over 10 rounds. Pretty much a shutout. As a shutout, actually. The scorecards were 189 across the board. A lot of people, a lot of hardcore boxing people are very high on him. Very high on him. Maybe not really known to the casual fans yet, but he will be, I think. Trained by Sam and Max Garcia in Salinas, California. Father and son relationship there. 2 times National Golden Gloves champion. Has wins over the likes of Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson as an amateur. He actually was highly tipped to do something in the next Olympics of 2020, but obviously turned pro. Very good boxer. Watch out for him. Featherweight contender. Shakur Stevenson actually tweeted straight after the fight, like, I told you guys about him. So again, he's flying under the radar, but won't be for too long. I emailed Sam Garcia, the son of the trainer, and they said they're looking to put him out again early next year and then a world title fight end of 2020. So remember the name, Ruben Villa. I think, okay, now we've got some other more news. Steve Donnelly won the Ultimate Boxer. That's a tournament in the UK over here. It's pretty much like Prize Fighter, but not as good, I don't think, no disrespect. I don't know if you guys saw, though, the final fight. Steve Donnelly obviously won it. I can't remember who he was fighting, but Ian John Lewis, the referee, I mean, Steve Donnelly landed a clean, I think it was a left hook. And that fight was out. The fighter was done. And Ian John Lewis looked like he wanted to get involved, then stopped. And then his opponent took at least 5 or 6 unanswered punches that he shouldn't have taken. That first, I think it was a left hook, done him. And the fight could easily have been stopped. Literally, it collapsed his legs. So yeah, Ian John Lewis is a fucking joke of a referee. You just need to get rid of him. I'm tired of Ian John Lewis. I've seen too many fights where he's just tentative to get involved. Just fucking stop the fight if you think the fight should be stopped. Fuck's sake. Matchroom and DAZN had another show in Italy. Sam Eggington, I think, topped the bill there. He beat Orlando Fiordigilio in 2 rounds. It's been a tough 2 years for Sam Eggington. Lost a couple of big fights. Liam Smith, when he just completely got outclassed. He's only 25. I mean, he looks like he's been in the wars forever, but he's only 25. I think this gave him some sort of IBF international belt. The guy he beat was ranked number 5 by the IBF. So I guess that puts him in the mix again, which is crazy. Luther Clay got a win on that card as well. And so did Jordan Gill, I think. All right, news. What we got? We got quite a lot of news. Don't know why I did an American accent there. Kind of American accent. Billy Joe Saunders is confirmed will fight on the undercard of KSI versus Logan Paul. You guys know how I feel about that. He will fight 168 pounds, defend his world title. So they have to find someone, I think, in the top 15. A name I'm hearing is Gabriel Rosado. I don't even know if Rosado's in the top 15 at 168. Might be at 160, so that might be a way to kind of get him on the fight. I don't know, but yeah, Billy Joe Saunders, world champion on the undercard of 2 YouTubers. If you haven't seen my video about this, go and check it out. I really go into it there. I don't really want to go into it here. Amir Khan is saying that he's speaking to Eddie Hearn about a Kell Brooks showdown in 2020. Oh, for fuck's sake. Stop it now. Just stop. I'm tired of this shit. I can't lie to you. I'm not joking. If I had no time on my hands, and I might actually do this just because I'm a boring human being most of the times right now, I'm guarantee you I could find an interview with Amir Khan where he said those exact same words for the past 10 years. Like, I could literally go 2010, 11, I could find an interview. I'm going to do it because I'm just a bored person. Yeah, stop it. Just stop lying to the fans, for fuck's sake. If I was Amir Khan, what I would do at this stage of my career is pretty much what he done a few months ago when he had that fight in Saudi Arabia. Just have those kind of exhibition fights. Have those and make, what do you make, 7-8 million? Just have those. I wouldn't even, and this is what I would advise him as his manager or as his friend, I wouldn't even fight a Brook or anyone sort of known in the top 10 or 15 at 147. I would literally just have exhibition fights, and just make as much money as possible. That's what I would do. All right, the first press conference and face-off of Canelo Kovalev was this week. I say first, they might only just do one. When's the fight? November 2nd. They might just do one. Did Danny Jacobs, Canelo, do one in Mexico. I think they did, right? I felt like it was a 3-city tour. Could be wrong. But yeah, their first face-off was this week. The size difference was a lot. Can't lie to you, it was a lot. I'm hearing, or the rumor is that there will be a rehydration clause. It was all too good to be true, wasn't it? There's going to be a rehydration clause put in. Obviously, I guess it's better than a catch weight. I guess. Is it? I don't know. Well, it's better than a catch weight and rehydration clause. So at least we're getting rid of one. I'm trying to think what they could ask Kovalev to not be higher than. 185 pounds maybe? I'd love to know. I'm going to try and find out what Kovalev weighed fight night for Yard. If it was 190, then maybe 185 won't be too bad. But if they're trying to ask him to fucking kill himself after weighing in, then just bullshit, innit? Just bullshit. Keith Thurman had surgery on his left hand this week. He said it's an injury he sustained in the Pac-Man fight. So Keith Thurman's obviously out of action probably until, I don't know, mid-2020. I don't even know what is next for Thurman. I don't know if he's going to take a step down in class just to get another win, or is he going to stay around there? I don't know. But it'd be good to see what's next for him. He's obviously been screaming for the Pacquiao rematch. He's not going to get that. I would like to see him fucking roll the dice and ask for Spence if Spence beats Porter. Why not? Roll the fucking dice and get that fight. Make that fight happen. Make that fight happen. Talking about Pac-Man, we're hearing now that the two favourites for Pac-Man are Danny Garcia and Mikey Garcia. I think I mentioned this before. How the fuck is Mikey Garcia coming off a one-sided beatdown a favourite for Manny Pacquiao fight? That's the reason why Mikey Garcia hasn't yet signed up with DAZN. There's obviously a lot of talk about him signing with DAZN because he knows he's in line for the lottery ticket. Danny Garcia, okay, maybe. He's coming off the win against Granados, I think. So, yeah, but, I mean, Mikey, don't. Talking about Garcia, I like the way this is kind of flowing. Ryan Garcia has inked a huge deal with Golden Boy Promotions. Strange week in the world of Ryan Garcia, Oscar De La Hoya, and Golden Boy Promotions. This time last week, or Saturday last week, was supposed to fight on the undercard of Munguia. That fight got pulled. His opponent got arrested. He then didn't take the fight offered to him to stay on the fight card, understandably so. Then Oscar De La Hoya, I think, mentioned something about Virgil Ortiz being the best prospect he's got. Very true, by the way. Very, very true. Ryan Garcia was unhappy about that, threw a tantrum, a fit, saying, if you don't like me, let me go somewhere else. 24 hours later, he signed the biggest deal with Golden Boy. I don't know. I will say this about Ryan Garcia. I'm not entirely sure how good he is. I think he's a good prospect, but I'm not sure if he's a Devin Haney-like prospect. If he is half as good as they think he is, he will be a superstar, right? He's got that crossover appeal, Mexican-American, good-looking kid. He'll be a superstar. So I fully understand why Golden Boy offered him this crazy deal. I don't know what the money is. Let's not speculate, but I mean, they did use the word huge and biggest, so we'll see. That sounds wrong. Some good news for fans of the World Boxing Super Series. Kalle Sauerland has said there could be a heavyweight version in 2020. I actually thought that this could be that for the World Boxing Super Series. We know their financial struggles. It's been well publicized. And I thought this could be the end. I do like the tournament. I think it's a fantastic tournament, but I thought that could be that. He's now saying there could be a heavyweight one, as well as others, but the heavyweight one obviously would be the main one. It won't include the likes of Usyk, Joshua, Fury, Wilder, or Ruiz. But he has mentioned the names of like Dillian Whyte, Daniel Dubois, Hrgovic, Caballero, and the winner of Parker Chisora. I mean, look, if he can get that over the line, fucking hell. I can understand how it would continue if you were to speak to, I don't know, sponsors and people kind of putting money into the tournament and say to them, you've got a heavyweight lineup and that's the lineup. You can understand how investors will pump money into it. So fingers crossed he can get the heavyweight tournament over the line, and fingers crossed he can get those names in it. I'd be shocked if he got Dillian Whyte in it. Shocked. But the rest, very possible. Very, very possible. Katie Taylor is back in action November 2nd, moving up to 140 pounds and challenging Christina Linardato, I think that's her name, for her world title. I was going to do a video about this, but let's talk about this now, and I might elaborate on it a bit more in a separate video. But it doesn't seem to be happening for Katie Taylor. She's a superstar, or a superstar in the making at least. I mean, this is a girl that done everything you could do as an amateur. Go onto Wikipedia and just look at her amateur record and what she won. And it's literally fucking gold, 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 gold. From like 2004 to 2012, this fucking girl won everything. And I thought when Eddie Hearn signed her, he was thinking that she could be a superstar, right? Maybe not as big as a Ronda Rousey or anything like that, but something like that. And it just hasn't happened. Hasn't happened. I don't know why they haven't had her fight in Ireland yet. She's obviously a huge, huge deal in Ireland. They've not had her fight there. Matchroom not allowed to do shows there. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know if it's a reflection on female boxing. I don't know if people just aren't interested in female boxing. Just point blank period. That's it. I don't know. But they are saying if she comes through this one, then it will be the Pursoon rematch, a fight I thought she lost. Then after that, they're talking about Serrano. So look, again, good fights. But how interested are we? I don't know. Also on that card, we've got Buatsi versus Blake Caparello. I think that's a good fight. Good matchup. And Crawler's last fight. Kugan Cassius joked on an IFL TV interview recently. I'll say it was a joke, might not have been, that Derry Matthews has been reaching out to Eddie Hearn to have that fight. All right, he wants that opportunity. Joe Gallagher done an interview, I think with Boxing Social, might have been even with Sky, saying he doesn't really want a tough fight for Crawler. He might have to just kind of accept one. I mean, we're hearing that Crawler will be the last fight on, so he'll be the main event. I mean, we can't have him in a main event against no one. So it has to be a name, so it'll be interesting to see what name. Peter Fury said he wants Hughie Fury back out in November. Yeah, same here. It'll be good to see him again in November, but not with you. I don't think Hughie Fury should be trained by Peter Fury anymore. I think I've seen enough now to know that that's just not working. That doesn't mean Peter Fury isn't a good trainer. He is a very good trainer. I mean, this is the guy that trained Tyson Fury for Vladimir Klitschko, so we know he's a good trainer, but his style is just not working for Hughie Fury at all. It's just not gelling at all. Talking about Tyson Fury, it's now very unlikely that Tyson Fury's fight with Deontay Wilder, which was signed and sealed February 22nd, will go ahead. Not just because of Tyson Fury's cut, which was a very, very bad cut. That's going to take a long time to heal, if it will ever heal properly, but just because of Ortiz Wilder. Again, it's not been announced, but we are hearing that the fight will happen November 23rd. I mean, if their fight is anything like the first fight, there's absolutely no way Wilder's turning around and fighting Fury in that short space of time. It's not happening. No way, Jose. So I'd be shocked if they don't move it to April. I don't know if anything big is happening in April, but they might move it to there. They might even move it to May. They might even do that, which is interesting. We're hearing a deal is very close for Danny Jacobs to take on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. A date we're hearing is 14th of December. I mean, I said this about Chavez, that, I mean, this guy has done nothing. Had a gimme fight and now straight back in what is a very, very big fight against Danny Jacobs at 168 pounds. Just gets the names, has that pulling power. It won't headline though. Headline we're hearing could be an all super flyweight clash between Estrada and Kel Yafai. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yafai's been asking for it. He's going to get it. I mean, Estrada's no joke, but Yafai's good as well. That should be a good fight. A good year for Daniel Dubois. Just got a little bit better as he was voted the best young boxer of the year. I don't know who else was in this category, but well done to Daniel Dubois. A heavyweight hasn't won that award for ages. I'm trying to think who could have been the last heavyweight to win best young boxer. I'm going to just take a wild guess and say Tyson Fury. Maybe when he was British champion with that win over Chisora. That felt like a long, long time ago. Remember the first win, not the second win. So he might have won it. But yeah, well done to Daniel Dubois. We're hearing that Hunter versus Povetkin is in works for the undercard of Joshua Ruiz. We've been hearing about that one for a while, or not a while. I guess as soon as Hunter beat Sergey Kuzmin and Povetkin beat Hughie Fury, it's the fight that makes sense. Hunter wants it, Povetkin maybe not so, but Povetkin won't fucking duck a challenge at all. All right, we'll end on this. Gary Russell Jr., Leo Santa Cruz. It's funny. Well, it's not funny. Some people found it very disrespectful. I get that. But if you guys haven't seen it, please, it's all over the internet. You must find it. Gary Russell Jr. done like a minute video where he's basically turned heel. He basically has decided, fuck the Mr. Nice Guy. It isn't working. I need to do something. And I like that. That's the only thing I like about it. But if you haven't seen the video, so what he does, Leo Santa Cruz's dad it looks like in a changing room, Gary Russell Jr. walks in and puts his arm around Leo Santa Cruz's dad and then starts playing with his chain, saying, nice change, all very amicable and nice. Then he walks out the change room and says, look, that's your dad right there. Fucking, that's a bit cheeky. I could have laid hands on him, but I didn't. I want you. If I don't get you, pretty much, I will go in there and lay hands on your dad. I could have pretty much strangled him, but decided not to. And he's all saying this. He's not smiling. Like, you know, there's no smile there. He's saying this and look, he doesn't mean it, but obviously a lot of people are very pissed off by it. I will say this, and I've said this before. In boxing, the worst thing to be is indifferent. Fans hate indifference, right? Fans hate where they don't know they like you or dislike you. James DeGale, good example. You either want fans to hate you or very much like you. And Gary Russell Jr. has literally been like that for his career, where fans are like, not too bothered. Now, fans hate him. And because they hate him, they will tune in to see him fight. It's fantastic marketing. And I believe that someone's told him to do this. I believe that someone said, look, Gary, you're running through your career. You're a very good fighter. You've only lost, is this once to Loma? But you've made no money. You're very inactive. You need to do something. And he said, you know what? Fuck it. I want the Santa Cruz fight. This is how I'm going to get it. And I think it's worked a treat. Because now everyone wants to see Leo Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell Jr. We all want to see it now. What we are hearing, and I think Leo Santa Cruz has said, when he sees him, it's on site. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see them fight on the streets. I just now want to see them have a real fight. Both of these guys are very inactive. Both of these guys, I think, are very, very boring. And I think Gary Russell Jr. has decided one of us has to be the bad guy. I will take the hit for it. What do you guys think? Thanks for watching. Peace.